Hello again, welcome to day 1 of the Juicy Hips Challenge. This is your one exercise for today, your challenge, and it is going to be so foundational for everything else that we do in the next 30 days. We are going to work on being able to engage with our diaphragm, our pelvic floor, and our abdominals all together to create this very stable system that creates stability in our spine and pelvis so that when we move our hips, when we move our limbs, everything stays really nice and stable, which helps your brain to be happy, which helps your brain tell your muscles how to work well and not clench up all the time. So we're going to start on our backs today, and remember the focus is on really just aligning our rib cage over the pelvis. So we're going to start on our backs to help us facilitate that happening. You may want some kind of cushion like a yoga block, a pillow, or a towel roll underneath your head. And we're just going to start on our backs and lift our legs up to tabletop. So from here, you may feel your back arching off of the mat. You may feel your rib cage coming up. We don't want to see ribs here, so we're going to just gently cue our ribs down. And if you still do not feel contact in your spine, I want you to bring your knees a little closer to you. This is a perfectly fine way to do this exercise, or you can do it just in a straight tabletop here. Our legs are going to be kind of like frog legs. We're going to press out just slightly into them to engage with the lower abdominals and the glutes. And just try to keep that tension there. And then we're going to make sure our rib cage is flush with the abdominal wall, and we are making a cylinder. Remember, we're not sucking in with our breath. We are not pushing out with our breath. We are distributing our breath throughout this whole nice cylinder, just like a baby. So now we're going to practice our inhale. Think about filling up all the way into your hips, all the way into your pelvic floor, forward and back. And on the exhale, you can say shh or f. And then you can kind of tap yourself to see if you feel that surface tension. We want it to feel like an inflated balloon. So like as you inflate a balloon, you feel a little bit more surface tension the more inflated it is. And we want to keep that surface tension as we exhale and go back into the inhale. So I'm able to talk while I'm doing this, but that's a skill I've worked on for a really long time. But that means that I'm able to hold this position, hold the same abdominal tension. And by tension, I mean good tension, pressure regulation, without losing it while I talk. I tend to lose the pressure right here in this front hip crease. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more of a push there with my breath. There we go, and I got it. And I say that because my right hip tends to be the one that is less stable and has more problems. So it's really interesting when you notice the places that you have the squishiness and you're not able to generate that pressure, that those tend to be the areas that we have the most problems. We'll talk about all that later, so if that doesn't make sense, don't even worry about it. Just focus on your breath, focus on the position of your rib cage, and again, if your back is coming off or if it's hurting, bring your knees a little closer, bring your feet up into the air. And this is a perfectly fine position. We want that sensory input from the entire spine on the floor to help our brain know what to do with the rest of our muscles. And we'll just breathe here. I'm going to do 10 reps of breath, and I'll give myself a little tap. Don't forget, you can feel with your fingers those places where you might have a little bit more of the squishiness. Some people it's a hollow right in the, like right above the belly button. Some people it's right above the hip creases. So be checking those areas and focus on breathing into just one area with each breath. As an added challenge, you can put your arms up and start to roll just a little bit, keeping that same tree trunk cylinder. As you log roll to one side, everything stays the same. You're just kind of rolling onto one side of your hip and shoulder blade, and then you're rolling to the other hip and other shoulder blade, keeping that cylinder the whole time. And this is totally optional. I just really like to add this in because I think it's fun, and it helps to utilize this canister with just slight movement. One more time to the right, and then we're going to come back to the middle. And that is our challenge for today, day one of the Juicy Hips Challenge. We just covered intra-abdominal regulation with the diaphragm, pelvic floor, and abdominals, the whole core system. This is going to be foundational to everything else we do in this program, but I don't want you to freak out if you don't feel like you're getting it right. We are going to keep practicing this every single day, and I want you to keep practicing this. Even if you don't have time to lie on the floor again today, I want you to think about that when you're sitting today at work. I want you to think about it when you're picking up your toddler, to breathe into your belly, breathe into your back as you lift and see if it feels more stable. When you're waiting in line at the grocery store, I want you to practice this breath technique. The more reps we give our brain, the faster we learn it, but it will take some time to learn, so don't stress if you didn't get this in just the last 5 minutes. We're going to keep practicing it and incorporating it into all of the movements that we do in this program.